In today's video, we are going to take a look at how to make your own hand-tied, hand-twisted furled leaders. The first thing you're going to do is start off with a material. There are lots of different kinds of materials out there. Maxima is a real popular choice. Amnesia is also kind of a neat one for a high-vis leader for nymphing. You can use regular mono, you can use fluorocarbon. Just make sure you choose a material that suits what you're trying to do. Chameleon is more of a stiff material. Ultra green is a little bit more supple, and there are other materials that are out there that are stiffer and more supple and everything in between. So just do a little research and kind of figure out what you want to do, or just experiment. That's kind of how I like to do things. You also need to choose a diameter. So the thicker the diameter, the punchier or heavier duty or the more powerful leader that you're going to get. And the thinner the material, the more supple, the more soft presentation. Good for dry flies and trout fishing, things like that. And you can use anything from 4 or 5 pound all the way up to, let's say, 30 pound for a pike muskie leader. So just kind of experiment. Most people kind of end up with a leader that's anywhere from 6 to 15 pound for freshwater, and then for heavy duty streamer fishing or saltwater, they kind of use 20 or up. So that's just a general guideline there for you. We've got a few different examples here. Here's some that I made with Chameleon. Here's one I made with Ultra Green, and of course the high vis version there from Amnesia. A lot of people like to add tippet rings to the end of their leaders as well. That makes it very easy to tie the tippet to your leader. So that's kind of a neat little feature, but don't have to do it, of course. You can skip that. So the first step you're going to do is pull off some material off your spool. And how much material depends on how long of a leader you want. So today, I'm going to show you how to do a 50-50 leader, which means that 50% of it will be butt section and 50% of it will be kind of midsection. And the formula for that is however long you want your leader to be. So if you want your leader to be 5 feet long, multiply by 3. You'll need 15 feet of material. Same goes for 7, 10, 12 feet. If you want it to be 10 feet, multiplied by 3, you'll need 30 feet of material. So to start, first thing we're going to do is take one tag end here and just match it up with the other tag end. Let's get some of this stuff here out of the way. And what you'll end up with is 2 tag ends and a loop on the other end. So this point, if you want to add a tippet ring, this is when you want to do it. So take your tippet rings here. They always come on a little swivel. And to put it on, easiest thing to do is don't take it off the swivel. Leave it on the swivel and simply just thread a tag end into the first tippet ring. Oops, which I'm having troubles doing here on camera. If you take these tippet rings off first, they are extremely hard to handle. So I always like to thread it on the line and then take it off the swivel. Then just let it slide all the way down to the loop. Now we're ready to start twisting. So what I like to do is hold the loop and the tippet ring in my right hand, hold the 2 tag ends in my left. Now this is important. How you hold them does matter. You want to hold them so that the 2 tag ends go away from each other. If you hold them together like that, it will not furl properly. So you need to get in there, use your hand as a divider, and just simply hold it with the 2 pieces going opposite each other. Do not pinch, just kind of hold it. That's the best way I can describe it to you. If you pinch hard, it won't twist. If you don't hold it, then it will just flop around. So just hold it there essentially. All the pressure is going to be on your twist. So getting it started is the hardest part. Once you get it started, you're good to go and just twist. Now, as you twist, you can see those 2 strands there kind of jumping. If they ever jump together, you got to get in there and pull them apart. You want to keep those away from each other. The faster you twist, you can really see them jumping around there. The more they come together, just get them apart. Keep twisting. If you're new to this and you're just trying it, then twist slow to begin with. I'm twisting pretty fast here. And that can be a recipe for disaster if you don't know what you're doing and you're not used to handling twisting monofilament. So, and just twist the whole way down until you get to your tag ends. Once you get to your tag ends, I like to just throw a little overhand knot in there. You don't have to. Some people don't, but that just keeps everything from coming apart on you. And you can just run your fingers over the leaders to make sure there's no bumps or kinks or anything. No, we're good. You can see how limp that leader is. Look how straight that is. I didn't even straighten the material. So once you twist and furl this, these furled leaders are extremely limp and hardly any memory. So that's one of the benefits to these furled leaders. Also, you can customize them. So the next step we're going to do is we're going to form the butt section, which will be the 4-strand section of the leader. Now for a 50-50 leader, essentially what you're going to do is you're going to take the little tag ends there with the knot, and you are going to slide them to the 1/3 section of the leader. Just like that. And how I do that is I use the piece of with the tippet ring there as a guide, and I just take that butt section and line it up so that it's half butt section, half midsection there. And that is just a simple little recipe for a 50-50 leader. Now, if you want to make this leader more powerful, you'll just add more butt section. So I'm here adding more butt section and making that midsection shorter. Now, if you want to make a leader that's more supple for dry flies, you're going to add midsection and reduce butt section. How I like to figure this out is purely trial and error. Make a bunch of them, experiment. Obviously, there's probably formulas out there that I'm sure engineers have, or engineer folk have made, and they'll have recipes for you. But I like trial and error. Every material's different. Every fly line's different. Every rod's different. The flies are all different. So I just purely experiment. Make some heavy ones, make some medium ones, and make some light ones, long ones, short ones, and just go play, have fun with it. You'll be amazed at the difference between the castability of all the different types. Okay, so once we decide on the length of our butt section, we are going to go up to the loop there, and we are going to twist essentially the same way that I twisted the other section, except I'm going to twist the opposite way. So what I'm going to do is just hold it the same way and give it a couple starter twists here, and then twist the material. And again, you want to keep these all separate from each other. And just twist until you get to the tag ends. Keep those pinched. Now we're ready to finish off the leader. I do that by just doing a double overhand knot, also known as a surgeon's knot. And you want to lube it with a little bit of saliva or water, and then crank down on that knot. Make sure you pull on the tag end here and the standing line. Just make sure it's nice and snug. All right, and I'll show you a little other neat thing to furled leaders here. So another benefit to furled leaders is the shock absorption. So a standing line leader has little to no shock absorption, especially if it's made of a stiff material like fluorocarbon. With these, since they're twisted and furled, as I pull on this leader, you can see that tag in there spinning. That's because there's actually some shock. You can see it moving. And that gives you quite a bit of shock absorption, and a lot of saltwater fishermen, steelheaders, pike, muskie guys really like that added shock absorption. So another neat feature to a furled leader. Then the last thing to do is trim off those tag ends. And there is your furled leader. So this section, the butt section, of course, will go to your line. And the little section with the tippet ring, call that the midsection, will go to your tippet. Now to store these, it's pretty easy. You start with the tippet ring or midsection portion and just wrap it around 4 fingers and leave about 10 inches or 9 inches or so of the butt section unwrapped. And all you do is you just go around all those strands more than 5 times. That way everybody stays nice and coiled and tidy together. And then of course, when you want to undo that and fish it, always start with your butt section loop. If you start with your tippet ring, you'll end up with a big giant mess. So, and that is how to twist up your own furled leaders.